All right, so I think the next thing we're going to be doing is jumping into our team leads panel. So if you are a team lead, please join me on the stage.
Alrighty. Hello, welcome everybody. This is the team lead panel and the first panel of today with all our wonderful, amazing guests. Today we are joined by Kimbo, who heads the world team. We have Jamie, who is head of media and does a lot of the amazing graphics that you see here. Tizzy, who needs no introduction. 1B, who is our community lead, and Rachel, who is our wonderful lead for everything voice related. Viv is somewhere. We should have Viv up here, but Viv handles trust and safety. If they're able to join us at any point, that would be wonderful. I think I want to start with letting everybody introduce themselves, what they do, how they found the Academy, and maybe one little factoid about themselves. Let's start with Akimbo.
Oh, hello there. My name is Akimbo, and I'm the team lead of the world team. I just found the Academy in January by sheer luck or accident. I was here the first time, and I saw Rachel in her first voice lesson, and thought, well, that's absolutely amazing, and it took me quite a while to get the courage to go to Dizzy and say, well, I know one thing or another about world building and modeling, texturing and stuff. Maybe I could help out. And she was so amazing and just took me in her Trans Academy family, and so no, I did just my best and everything to help out. Created some assets, some models, and recently the dorms. The next part we are up to is to create the interior of the Academy itself. This will be quite fun, and we are also up to improve the regular performance by optimizing basically everything from scratch. The terrain, the scripts, everything will be done by our team itself. Yeah, that's me.
Hello, I'm just Jamie, they, them, head of media. I was in the Discord pretty early on, but I was just kind of lurking there. I was like in the middle of an international move, so I had a lot going on personally. But like many of you finding the Academy, I was kind of reintroduced to it via the FIA video, and I contacted Tizzy and basically asked if I could help out with graphic design. When I say graphic design is my passion, it is no joke. I'm a graphic designer as my day job, and it's what I love to do in my free time as well. And so when it comes to the Academy, I've helped revamp branding and things like logos and stuff like that. When it comes to any of the logos and posters and visuals like this that you see for events, that is mostly me. And you know, and I have other wonderful people on staff that help as well, as far as videography, other graphics, things like that. Yeah, I'm very thankful for a very dedicated media team. Yeah, love it. Love it.
Absolutely. We have such a good media team. And honestly, we have a good every team. I cannot overstate just how professional our team leads are. Everybody on the team takes this incredibly seriously, and for us, this is somewhat of a second job, which can be tiring. There's kind of a running joke in the Academy staff that none of us actually sleep, and we're very okay with that. because this is a mission that we all very much believe in. But Akimbo is beyond professional when it comes to building stuff and scripting. She is so amazing. Jamie, also incredibly talented. All of the amazing graphics that you've seen and will be seeing here today at the presentations, all done by our media team. Colby, 1B, Rachel, Viv, they are all very, very professional. And I'm just so grateful that I have these people on staff, because there is no way that I would be able to do this by myself. They're way smarter than I am, and they just do incredible work. So thank you all so much.
Hello everyone. I am. Sorry. Is it my turn?
Yeah, you're good. I realized I was muted. I just said your name and
Oh, okay.
decided nobody could hear me for that.
That's me, 1B. I joined this humble academy back in February. I joined off of a friend actually, and since then I was just like, oh, this place is pretty chill, and my inclusion into the staff team was kind of anticlimactic. It was really just Tizzy walking up to me like, hey, I want to be part of staff team, and I was like, oh, okay, and then we like the little handshake, and here I am. You've probably seen me if you're on the Discord, as in the notices channel. I send most, if not all, of the notices with the help of my amazing community team, and the community team just kind of built out this event and all the event listings as well, and hopefully all of our work can be shown off today. And yeah, one funny tidbit to follow your like introduction thing is I really like to explore voice in the way that if I see a funny meme, I try to replicate that voice in the meme, and that's kind of my arc in voice training right now. So yeah, great to meet everybody here.
And Rachel?
Thank you so much. Hello, hi everyone. I'm Rachel. I'm the team. Oh God, I can't talk. I'm the voice team lead here at the academy, and I've been running these different workshops every other Sunday, and it's just been such a pleasure to be here. And I, can only echo what Tizzy's been saying. Everyone up here on stage really deserves to be here. It's been so fantastic to work alongside, and everyone in the teams here at the academy as well. There's so much love and hard work that goes into this place. It's just phenomenal. So it's just a pleasure to be here. I've been here since the start of the new year. Tizzy reached out to me earlier on when the academy was starting to look into voice training, and I was just like, yes, absolutely, this would be fantastic. For me, if you've been to any of my classes so far, you'll know that VR chat was a really big thing for me in being able to not only train my voice, but also grow into it and feel more myself. Before my physical presentation caught up with how I was sounding, it was like, yeah, a really amazing place to be able to meet people, to connect. And that's how we met back in 2020, was just online in VR chat, just chatting. And there's a lovely little community we were a part of. And so it feels really full circle and awesome to be here now and to be celebrating the first anniversary of the Trans Academy. So it's a pleasure and a privilege.
Awesome. It is so wonderful to be with all these amazing people here. As you know, it is a 24/7 job, literally, for this community to moderate, to keep the trolls banished to the netherworld. And I can't express to everybody like how much work these people put in. The staff here, it is an endless stream of the behind the scenes, making sure that it is a seamless experience for this community. And I just have to commend everybody, not just the team leads, but everybody on the staff, as well as our entire community, for working with the staff to help make this as wonderful an experience as possible. To kind of start off with this panel, I would like to I'm going to start with Tizzy.
Sure.
Yeah. So I would like to know what a day in the life of the custodial services looks like for you.
A day in the life. Well, I would say that I do my day job during the day, and I I end that and I have dinner and then I spend all night on Trans Academy stuff until I go to bed. My life is VR chat and I would not have it any other way. This place is the it is my like everything. All my social connections here, just it's the place where I want to spend my time. And I've met so many amazing friends through VR chat. And the thing that I love more than anything is when I'm able to kind of jump that boundary and go from the virtual to the real. Because a lot of my real life friends I've imported from various virtual worlds. Like back in the day, it was Second Life. And I would say that like a good 75% of my friends in real life were imported from SL. In fact, if you want kind of like a funny tidbit, when I was in college, we went and rented a house, right? And we had 8 different people from around the world in Second Life. And we all moved into this like sorority house together. And we would just play Second Life all day. And that was like our thing that we did. And we built communities and we did events and like all sorts of fun stuff. And so like I've definitely tried to capture that energy a little bit here and in my real life as well. So yeah, my real life and my virtual life have been very intertwined for 20 plus years at this point. And it's just been the most wonderful thing ever.
Awesome. So something that I know there are a lot of people who want to help out, who want to be a part of the staff. And I think we can just start with Akimbo. With your team, what do you look for people who want to join the world team?
In the first place, we are looking for asset designers, people who are able to create textures and are able to make 3D models. So we could outsource some of our highest needs to them.
Awesome. And so is there anything coming in the future that you feel would be a resource as we look towards expanding the academy? Is there anything that would make your life easier that perhaps we can find within this community?
Well, basically, those 2 things are the most important one that we are absolutely need. We basically our whole progress, our whole timeline are depending on assets. And those assets, we do not want to buy them or get something from a store or so. We want to make them ourselves, to express ourselves in our own way. And this is basically the most important thing for us, to have an own art style, to have an own way of modeling and way of designing the world.
Awesome. And Jamie, for media, is there anything that would help make it a smoother, easier process for our community? And what might you be looking for to bring on additional staff?
Graphic designers. Or just artists, graphics in general. I often have people approach me from the community, which I really appreciate. I always need one in the community who wants to help out. But most of the people who I have approach tend to want to do videography in some way, and that's awesome. That's lovely. Unfortunately, we have plenty of them on media team. What we really are hoping for are more artists, more graphic designers, even people who may not feel as comfortable with their art style. I always tell people, apply anyway, show me what you have. I definitely, like, when someone applies for media team and they say I want to do graphics, I definitely want to see something, just to know where anyone is at. I am totally willing to direct and teach people. I just want to be able to meet people where they're at. But definitely as the world gets revamped and as we have more events, having more graphic designers, having more artists on the team would be a huge help.
Awesome. And unfortunately, we don't have Viv here at the moment, so I'm going to hand that question off to you, Tizzy. For trust and safety, what is it that we need to be able to, as we grow, are we looking for bringing on new members in trust and safety?
I would say around the clock coverage is pretty important when it comes to trust and safety, because we definitely have gaps where there's nobody here to moderate. And in those situations, the ticket system is great, but it's pretty asynchronous. So, there can be lag when it comes to actioning abuse. And so I think just having a good amount of coverage and people who are, able to do that and have past moderation experience, we're always looking for new trust and safety agents.
And so for any trolls listening, it's actually not true. We actually have around the clock coverage. We're totally fine. We're not missing any gaps whatsoever. But if
Right.
we have some international audience who are around at those odd hours, please let us know. Alrighty, 1B. So let us know what you do within the community, and for people looking to join the community staff, what do you need right now? And how can this community help make your life and experience easier for the staff and to create a better community as a whole?
Yeah, okay. I'll basically kind of like outline what I look for and what I look for in interviews, as we do interviews for the staff team. I think the community team, as the community grows, the community team also has to scale up as well. One of the things I'm always looking for are people with prior experience. This is no doubt a sizable community, and I think where I see the most promise are people that have like good prior experience. Additionally, as we want to kind of expand more into this region, like masculine presenting trans mass people, I would love to get in touch. As I think I could speak for the rest of the team leads, in that we want to really perpetuate the idea of a trans academy, and not just a trans academy that caters to a very specific group, but more of just the entire spectrum of gender. And I think we could really do that more effectively if we do have people from the respective groups represent for us. So, if you have prior experience, we're always looking. There is the staff application form buried somewhere in the notices. If you'd like more information on that, you could always send a support ticket. I might just like throw out the link after the event or something, but you're all free to apply.
Awesome. So Discord mods, this is your calling. Rachel, I know that what you do is very specific and takes a lot of expertise. So it's not like we can add so many people to the voice team that are not professional in what they do. But is there anything that you would be looking for as the voice team lead to bring on new people?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So I think you've hit the nail on the head there. What we really want to do here at the Academy, and part of my job as being the team voice lead, has been to ensure quality and to ensure consistency across the board. A big important thing for me is safety with regards to vocal feminization or masculinization. We really want to make sure that any advice that we give from a professional standpoint here at the Academy is advice that we can wholeheartedly trust for you all to be able to employ within your own practice and life. So some experience is a really big help. I think, at least 1 year experience teaching trans voice is great. What I typically do is I run people through a technical interview, but I've just been so pleased to be able to have Jess over here in the crowd, who's been running our classes throughout the week, who's been phenomenal, a huge addition to the team. And we also have a new coach onboarding very shortly as well. Her name is Savvy. You might be familiar with her. She runs her own voice workshop community on Discord, and will be providing classes on every other Sunday as well. One thing that I think I can echo from 1B, though, is more of the trans mask representation. And that's what we've been trying to really do with Jess and Savvy's classes as well, is to provide more care for people who want to either masculinize their voice or androgynize their voice, to be able to put those tools into practice as well. So if there are any experienced trans vocal coaches from the trans mask side, please do throw in my DMs, hit me up, let me know, and we can have a chat and see how we can help. But yeah, thanks so much.
Awesome, amazing. So obviously there's there's a lot of people that go on. It's not just the team leads, but there's always new opportunity. And there are a lot of people who send in applications, and it can be a very difficult process to vet people. And we want to make sure, like first and foremost, that we're keeping this community safe. And so with the application process, Tizzy, how can people who want to be a part of this make themselves a better candidate? What kind of experience can they get elsewhere if, let's say, they've applied and it just didn't work out or it didn't seem like a right fit? For the people who want to and it just doesn't seem like there was enough experience to be able to bring them on, what do you recommend they do to help become a better candidate so that way we can grow members and be able to take on and train and develop new staff?
I would say just getting involved in academy events and just spending time here. A lot of the people who we bring on to staff are people who have shown that they are very dedicated to making the academy a better place as a member. And we recognize that when people do that, and we pick people out of our member base to bring them onto the staff because we want people who can really understand that this is a special place. Because for everybody here on the staff, I mean, this place means so much to us personally, which I think is kind of like the driving force behind wanting to put as much effort into it as we do. And so we want people who can resonate with that and be able to, do the same thing.
Amazing. Akimbo, I'm wondering if I can get what your vision for the Academy looking forward is. What do you want to see here personally, and how can we as leads and team together help make what you want for your vision come true?
What I see here is basically a full-scale school interior. I want to see classrooms for different themes, a classroom for voice lessons, a classroom for 3D modeling and help, a classroom for everything else, just a place to gather for people in order to exchange information and knowledge. That's my dream, and I think we all do a great job to achieve this.
Awesome, and thank you so much for your hard work. I mean, the changes and since you've come on board have just really moved up the timeline for how this place is visually able to progress, and it's gorgeous and beautiful, and we're all super grateful for you and your team's work. Jamie, looking forward for media, what is your vision? What do you want to see for our media? What can we create to make a more visually compelling and informative experience?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a marketer. I'm a marketer, graphic designer, and so I'm always thinking about, the face of the academy, the face of the community. And honestly, as a wider vision, I kind of want Trans Academy to transcend VR chat. When people think of trans community, I want them to think of Trans Academy. I want us to be a paradigm of what a trans community should be. And, we do that by the graphics, by putting out videos, by, just having a face, having a voice, putting ourselves out there. I think we're well on our way of doing that. We're definitely known in VR chat, wider VR chat community, wider VR space. And so, from there, it's sort of like just getting the word out in the sort of flesh realm. I know there are people who do it already, but I would say, if you have trans friends out there, or even if you don't, if you have friends that you can talk to, Trans Academy is a trans space, but we welcome, people from all over as long as they're respectful. Tell your friends, get them involved, send them the links to our streams and our videos, and, just show them what this community is and how amazing it is. Get our name out there.
Absolutely, and I think that's a sentiment that a lot of us can echo. I know it's a conversation that you and I had just yesterday with just some people that we're working with kind of in the outside world, and that we talked a lot about that goal of growing beyond VR chat. And it's amazing what has managed to happen in a year thanks to the help of everybody on stage, the entire staff, and of course the entire community here. Like this, we could not do any of this without all of you. And we really are excited to be able to grow beyond these virtual barriers and to be able to help the greater community at large. Tizzy, what is your vision looking forward? I know that probably covered quite a few of those things, but in your words, what is your view for the Academy looking forward?
Absolutely. And I think it's along the lines of what Jamie was saying, where we want to be able to break out of VR and start to affect change in the real world as well. And one of the ways that we've sort of moved forward with that is we've filed for 501c3 status. So the Trans Academy, through the backing of our Archmages, has been able to afford to file to be a real life nonprofit organization. And we actually have like a physical PO box and everything now. Like it's getting real, which is really exciting because at some point we'll be able to offer services outside of just VR. One of our big initiatives is going to be food insecurity. We don't want our members to go hungry. And so we want to be able to use our backers and like use that money for positive, like not only in VR chat, but outside as well.
That's amazing. And I know kind of looking forward for something that we are absolutely going to need is going to be grant writers. So
Absolutely.
if there's anybody of our community that is experienced writing grants, has worked in not-profit world, whether they were working under an executive director in a various project or were an executive director, that's something that we are absolutely going to need. ChatGPT is wonderful, but that's a very skilled profession of grant writing, and it's something we just haven't talked about as a group. And as we grow, we're absolutely going to need writers on the staff who can help work as a nonprofit. Len B, what is the future of this community as you see it?
Well, I think I don't know. I feel like it's up to the community team after the media team and what Jamie said about gathering the people, gathering the flesh, and then what do we do once they've landed into our little community? And I feel like going forward, we definitely want to create more opportunities for the people who've just landed or who are just looking for more friends or just a better community for them to have more chances at maybe like more events or socials or even getting a better sense of themselves and where they are in this community with like classes like the voice classes, which is there is one tomorrow with Savvy. This is definitely a small announcement, but I want to say that I think I want to get more events in and have more around the clock ones so that we could cater more to our global friends than just a historically very NA like time zone like for the events.
And I was mute again. That's wonderful. So Rachel, what is your vision for ultimately what the Academy can do? And of course,
Yeah,
this is not
absolutely.
just for VR chat, but like for just the entire trans community as a whole. What is your vision for what the Academy might be able to do for people all around the world?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. One of them is scale. I mean, echoing what Wombi said, having more events, more things that can be accessible for people in different time zones, like us in Europe, or for a lot of people in Australia, it can be really tricky to get to these different classes. So I think we're making really positive steps. A big thing for me was getting Jess's weekday classes started and getting these consistent, and they've been really dialed in. It's a great 2-week curriculum that we've got where anyone from a beginner to like medium with voice skills can just learn so much from that space. And for me, as well as like seeing VR and seeing the academies more specifically, it's breathing life into it, like having a school curriculum, a school day kind of running throughout that's always here. It's just really, really exciting. For me as well, VR always seemed like such a cool medium to be able to teach in, right? Because I know that through voice, initially I started out with just like Discord calls where there's no video and it's just audio and it's difficult. Then we went on to like video, but a lot of people are in their own heads. And I have my off days as well with dysphoria, and it's just like, I don't want to be on camera. This is terrible. And so with the VR space, I find it can be really, really good for us to get out of our own heads, to feel less dysphoric in an avatar that matches up with us. And that can be like really conducive to effective voice practice. And I find like the networking aspect as well to be just superb. So more of what we've got really would be a big thing for me. Outside of that as well, I want to kind of get more and more minds of voice, trans voice into this space here. When I was starting out, there are a lot of different resources that are out there. There are speech and language pathologists who have been doing trans voice for a while, or there have been different kind of separate cloisters of voice work. And I found that once I got into the Discord sphere and found like places like Linguistics or Online Vocal Coach and all these different servers that have this trans voice resource going on, I would love to see that mirrored over here. So someone being able to come here for the first time and be like, okay, here are the teachers that we know. Here are some of the things that we can do. And this is really being like a one-stop shop for people to be able to get to grips with voice harmonization more. So more perspectives, more classes, and just seeing more and more life being breathed into the academy. It's awesome, I think. Yeah.
So, well, these are all super exciting, and I know everybody here is really grateful for the services that you bring to this community, as well as the entire voice team. Viv, you made it.
Hi, sorry, I kind of dozed off.
It's quite all right.
Hear it.
We're a little short on time, so we have to move to question and answer very shortly. But please introduce yourself. Let us know what you do for this community.
Hi, everybody. I am Viv. I am the lead of trust and safety for this community. Yeah, that's who I am. That's what I do.
All right, so we're gonna spitball some questions at you real quick. For those looking to join Trust and Safety, what is it that you're looking for that we can find within this community to take on new people to help make your job and your life, as well as the safety of this community better?
Well, the most important thing, of course, is a strong moral compass, and a good moral compass that aligns with our values, of course. Yeah, but also you, of course, need to be a part of this community. You need to, how do I put this? People need to be able to feel like they can approach you. Yeah. Those are among the most important things.
And what is your vision for the trust and safety for the Academy moving forward? What do you see as our future, and what do you want to see?
I see as our future a ton of work, because the larger it gets, like the more work there will be for trust and safety. That's also why some of you might have noticed the team has been growing rather quickly in the last couple weeks, months. We need to catch up to the amount of amazing people we have in this community. But I kind of wish and hope to, of course, get to a point where we are as unneeded as possible. The less we have to do, the better.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for all your hard work. This community would be filled with trolls and people trying to crash us without all your dedication. I cannot stress how much like the timely manner in which the entire staff and most importantly trust and safety are able to squash any issues that are in the Discord and world. Like it is amazing how responsive the staff is to an incident. And for as targeted of a community as this is, it is, I think this is probably touched to a question that somebody asked, but somebody had commented that like this is one of the places with the fewest number of trolls and of any world in VR chat. And I think that's amazing because there couldn't possibly be a more targeted place. And yet, because of the work of the staff and trust and safety, it's a very safe community where people don't have to worry about their computers getting crashed or the Discord getting flooded with raids. So seriously commendable work, and we're all grateful to be able to have this community because of that dedication. I am going to pass the torch on to Shay. Hey Shay, come on up. Come. And we're going to move into the question and answer segment from the community. So give us a little introduction about yourself and let's get some questions firing.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. I'm Shay. I'm one of the administrators here at the Trans Academy. For the past few days, we've been collecting questions for our team leads. Some of them are very hard-hitting, so I figured I would just ask them out, and anyone who feels like jumping in could answer them. Hopefully not all at once. I'm going to start off with an icebreaker before I throw the hard ones at you. Would you guys rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
100 duck-sized horses, any day.
Why?
Oh, I just like to cleave through them, I feel like you get some good AoE attacks in.
Yeah, it would be like a hack and slash, right?
I think that's a very fair answer. All right. So the first question I have that's a little more serious is, how does it feel to build a community that started as small and lesser known to becoming one that is recognizable as across all of VRC? So we started off small, we grew big. How does that feel? Go ahead, 1B.
I think every community starts somewhere, and I'm just insanely humbled to really be part of something so important as this. And I really feel like it's not just on like the staff. The staff is amazing. The staff deserves all the praise, but we're very appreciative of the community for accepting and wanting to be part of this community. And so I'm just really happy that VR chat and hopefully the rest of the world can embrace us and enjoy the things that we put out and present. Yeah,
that's a great answer. Does anyone else have?
Starting from the bottom now here.
Sure. Go ahead, Jamie.
So I said earlier about how I want us to expand and reach into the real world, and I very, very much I hold to that. But the numbers do make me panic. So like I know in the back of my head how large we have grown. And I'm so happy, and I'm so proud of us as staff and as us as a community for growing that far. But in the day-to-day operations, I try not to think about it too hard because it can be a bit nerve-wracking, if I'm completely honest, knowing just how responsible we are for like such a huge, important, well-known community. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. Does anyone else want to contribute to that? All right, perfect. I'll go on to the next question. What's it like maintaining the academy? Are there any hardships or interesting aspects about how the project is organized that might be worth commenting? And how much coordination does it take?
It's intense. It's a second job, as I was saying earlier, and we did start very small. And the thing about when you have like that much growth that happens that quickly, like that exponential growth curve, there's a lot of catching up to do when it comes to certain things like internal processes and documentation and like all that stuff, because you have to go from just being like a friend group to being a proper organization. And there are a lot of things that have to happen in order to get from A to B. And we've had a lot of help from people like Scout, who has been great at helping us to, draft some of those processes. Also, all of our leads bring a lot of professional experience from their IRL jobs here. And so I think a lot of that has contributed to our ability to scale. And scale quickly, because like we had these moments along our growth line where like the FIA video came out and it was just like, oop, and that line just went like straight up. So yeah, definitely a crazy experience, but we had good people, so yeah.
Very true. Things grew so quick over this past year. It's amazing to see. Does anyone else want to contribute to that? Okay, so I lied a little bit. I'm going to target Viv on this one since you came in late. It was touched on a little bit earlier. It was touched on, but we have a question and a little bit of a statement. How do y'all make it so the VR chat world has barely any trolls? I swear it's the one place I can go in a public instance and barely at all get harassed. Is it hard to maintain that?
It can sometimes be a bit hard to maintain that, simply because of time zones being a thing, and of course, I might not be American, but the internet kind of somehow always is. So everything happens during US times. And sometimes I wake up and just look into the staff chat and it's just like, I don't know, 20, 30 messages of situations going on in world that I wasn't able to respond to in time because I was asleep, of course. But that's where my wonderful team comes in. Like, for example, Cha over there or Evie over there. That are helping a lot with offloading that burden, to be honest. Yeah, in the end, it's just, if you ever wondered why the hell there are so many trust and safety members on the staff team, that is exactly why. So we're able to respond quickly around the clock, because you need to keep in mind that we are a community with over 15,000 members in the chat. And we need to be able to at least not like to at least respond somewhat timely all around the clock, because let's face it, VR chat, something's always happening. Yeah.
True. It's very true.
So we need our vampires. If there are any vampires in the community, please let us know. We really need your services.
All right.
Your last name is Cullen. Fantastic.
Well done. Well said. So the next question we have here. What hobbies do you have that are not related to VR or VR chat? I know you guys put a lot of work into this community and you have day jobs, but what do you do outside of that? Would anyone like to?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If I have
Go
to
ahead,
be honest,
go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Viv, go ahead first.
Please, you first.
Okay. Yes, if I have to be fully honest, the academy kind of consumed all my other hobbies. I have more or less reached the point where I get home, do academy stuff, go to bed, wake up, go to work, get home, do academy stuff, go to bed.
It's a panel.
Like Tizzy said, it is almost a second job at this point. In the free time I do get, I usually do avatar stuff, which is again VR related. Yeah, but I do like things like, for example, 3D printing, stuff like that.
Over here.
Yep. Hello. Oh, okay.
Amazing.
For the meantime, can you
Akimbo?
So before I went into the Trans Academy, my hobbies were coding, 3D modeling, making textures. And after I went into the Trans Academy, my hobbies were coding, 3D modeling, making textures. So I basically just do the same. It fulfills me. It's amazing to work with all those people together. It's beautiful. It fulfills my heart with love and joy.
So where do I go? Wait, where do you
It's amazing. It's great you're putting your passions to use.
Wow.
Does anyone else?
I could, yeah. I think I mirror a lot of Viv's sentiment of like, oh, this is a time in life which is like pre-Trans Academy and then post-Trans Academy, and it's like a kind of like I have like a bunch of various hobbies in pre-Trans Academy, and then once it became Trans Academy, it was just all Trans Academy. But if I can remember the old days before that happened, I really like keyboards. I'm a big keyboard fan. I've spent a lot of money on it. Very embarrassing. I'd also like to play rhythm games, mostly a lot of arcade ones. Yeah, and I like cooking. I really think cooking is like the best way to really show someone that you love how much you love them with time taken and skills learned. And I have a lot of other smaller stuff, but right now I'm just thinking about Trans Academy. But yeah.
Thank you so much.
I echo a lot of the sentiments here. Trans Academy can be quite consuming. Occasionally I touch grass. And when I do, I like to do yoga in the park. So yeah, I'll go do yoga in the park. I do yoga a few times a week regardless, but most of the time it's just within the comfort of my own room. But yeah, I like to do yoga in the park, and I live in the United States. I live near the nation's capital, and we are known for our museums, and I absolutely love museum hopping. So I'll pick a day on a weekend and just spend the 4 or 5 hours in a museum of the day and just read and talk, and yeah, I love museums.
I love that. And I think more of the staff could touch grass sometimes, so that's amazing.
Mood. Same.
Does anyone else want to contribute to that question?
Guilty as charged. I could probably touch more grass, but honestly, like, virtual worlds have just been such a huge part of my life, and it's what I would be doing anyway. And now it's a career and a hobby and a passion and just everything to me. Like, just seeing how much these spaces can change people's lives and create those connections. Like, there is nothing more important in my life right now than being able to be a part of that. So for me, this is everything. But like one B was saying, it's kind of like before Trans Academy and after. And before, I would say I'm really big into music. I love playing the piano. I've been playing since I was 6. And so that to me is like a good way to unwind. Music is very therapeutic. And like as of recently, my fiance and I have been going out and like digging for vinyl records at like record shops and stuff. It's been kind of like a fun thing to do together. So yeah, stuff like that. Mostly music.
I love that. Anyone else?
Yeah, sure. So for me, it's been a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 recently. I'm sure a lot of us can relate. Outside of that, though, I quite like making some very angry synth sounds and like not finishing projects. I also play a bit of guitar, and it's a lot of fun.
I love that. I can relate to the Baldur's Gate. There's a few of the staff members who've been playing together. So, it's quite an interesting adventure. Learning a lot about people. All right. So, do we have any spoilers or teasers on new updates for VRC Academy map that you want to tell us about? I know we already touched on the dorms, but is there any others or events that are coming?
We were recently accepted for VCAT Winter, so we will have a booth there,
It's awesome.
which is really exciting.
I'm excited to hear that. All right. Are there any interesting stories about the early months of the academy that you would like to share with us? Anything that happened early on that's notable or funny? Or any hardships?
Sure, I could take this one.
Sure.
For the first academy class that I had, I didn't sleep for 24 hours afterwards. I was so hyped, so nervous to be teaching in like VR because it's so different. I find that when you can actually like see people and talk to them one-on-one, despite having years of experience doing one-on-ones or doing like big Discord group sessions, it was a lot. So for anyone who wants to come on stage on the Sundays, I totally know. It's very nerve-wracking, but don't worry, it gets easier.
Perfect. Anyone else?
Oh, I have a funny tidbit. So the initial build of the Trans Academy actually started while I was on a camping trip. So like the original buildings that were here, like some of these towers and stuff like that, like I was in the back of my SUV on a camping trip with my laptop, like in Blender putting that stuff together.
I remember
so,
that.
I remember that too.
I have pictures of it. I'll have to drop those in the Discord.
Amazing.
I could
Anyone
share
else?
like a nice memory. I think
Yes.
this was like during Rachel's like one of the first like voice feminization classes here, and we just had like so many people, and it was like really laggy and everything. But then when I opened my menu, that's when like everyone's like group plates like showed up, and it was just like a sea of trans banners, and that like made me feel like, dang, this is kind of crazy. It really made me feel like, you know, like this is like definitely something amazing that's happening, and I've been like remembering that since.
Amazing. Anyone else?
Look, I'm still thinking about the horse-sized duck.
It's one to think about for sure. Do you think the atmosphere or the culture of the academy has always been the same since the start, or did it change with so many people entering the community? Would anyone like to field that?
Honestly, I'd say that we've been pretty true to who we are since the beginning. The Academy culturally has not changed very much. A lot of our core tenets that we established early on are something that we still very much uphold, such as creating a safe environment for our members where trans people can connect, and being able to also outreach to other communities in VR chat. That's a big one for us. And we'll see some of that today with some of our talks from groups like the Transhumanist Group and Helping Hands and Ancients of VR chat. And also beyond that, being an educational space. That's been one of our other large core tenets, which has been facilitated by Rachel and her team. And so, yeah, the Academy, even though we've grown, we haven't really changed. It's the same Academy that it was when we started last year.
I feel that too. Does anyone else have any input on that? We all consensus on that one?
Yeah, for
All
the most part, I agree. For the most part, I agree. But something I definitely do notice is that we professionalized ourselves. It was a lot,
That's true.
it was a lot more chaotic in the beginning. And we kind of grew out of that.
I'm gonna just sit down.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Okay.
We refined ourselves, for sure. It's a little bit of scuff, but we're good. We're doing okay.
We'll get there.
Right. What is one thing you would personally like to implement at the Academy, like a pet project, event that you want to host or organize? Does anyone have any?
Yeah. One of the things that I've been thinking about doing for a few months is I want to do a professional mixer here at the Academy to be able to connect trans people with jobs and recruiters and being able to like talk about things in the industry, especially when it comes to like remote work and stuff like that. Because I know that like in real life, one of the benefits of being able to go to things like conventions and things like that is having that chemistry and the networking that you get with other people that are in the industry. And like one of the powers of VR chat, its ability to like create that same kind of presence. And so if we're able to bring that to the trans community, it can help to give people work, and that can change their real life. So yeah, something to think about.
Amazing.
Something that I would love to see as we grow and move into the world beyond is representation at various Pride events around the world, and being able to kind of have people share like the Academy to the world beyond. I think it'd be really cool to have like a photo segment, or like a just a board where it's like photos of Academy members at various events, and it'd be cool to maybe one day have like a merch store or something where we can have shirts and flags and things like that that we can start distributing and see in the real world.
Academy programming socks, anyone?
That'd be fun.
Academy branded blahages.
Right.
Please.
Take my money.
Like something that I wanted. I'm so sorry. One thing that Colby did touch on is the merchandise, and I think that's great. That's one thing I really want to kind of like get into. For both like someone members can have something physical to kind of rep their Trans Academy pride. Plus, I also want some I want like a Trans Academy coaster. Like that'd be cool.
I love that. Jamie, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yes. I guess if I had a pet project, I'd like to see like outreach to different like communities of speaking different languages. I know that there's personally I speak Japanese. I used to live there, and so I know that there's quite a large trans like Japanese community. For example, we've had Japanese like trans Japanese people come to our events. And unfortunately, the number one thing we hear is, "Oh, this community seems wonderful. We don't understand anything." And so, I kind of do that at a very minor level now by trying to have some Japanese where I can on like graphics and stuff. But I don't know, like Trans Academy Japan campus someday would be really, really cool and really far down the line.
I would love that. It would be great to be able to bring in some more people and expand the Academy to a few different languages. Definitely a good goal to have for the future. Does anyone else want to field that one? All right. I only have one more question. Burger King or McDonald's?
Burger King.
Which wins? Yeah.
McDonald's.
All the way.
Yeah.
Chicken nuggets. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
The fries, McDonald's fries, you can't beat those.
Not in my
I'm just imagining it from a
You very
mascot
much can.
standpoint, and I feel like a Burger King could beat up a clown. I think. Right?
If
This
we
might
had
be
a
the
counter
question
for
that-
every time that Tizzy has ordered nuggies while being at the Academy, it would go beyond the limits of VR chat's like ceiling height.
The Academy was built
True.
on chicken nuggets.
That's true. 100%. That's a fact. All right.
That's funny.
Well, that's all I have for the
Chicken
questions.
nuggets
Thank you,
versus
everyone, so much. I'll turn it back over to you, Colby.
Oh, well, just in time for me to finish this bag of chips. If that's a reflection of how today is going to go, I am going to eat way more than my body's weight in calories. I just want to thank everybody on stage for being here, not just for today and for the birthday, but for all of the work that you do. It's just like to be able to express to the entire community just what the Discord looks like behind the scenes when you open up the gates to the staff. It is just channels and channels of nonstop activity. It is an entire village that brings this community together and so much effort. So from everybody here, like personally, thank you all so much. Next, we will be moving on to. Oh, this doesn't help. I don't have the schedule. I have no idea what's next, but thank you everybody for coming. And somebody will be up here soon to let you know what's happening because I have no idea.
Thank you, Colby. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all so much.
All right.